Hey Alisa, let's go buy a waffle.
Yeah, sure. I've been
Hey
craving.
Alisa, Aina, I've always wondered how those food always ended up lasting, don't you?
Yeah, me too. I think I know why. Let me explain to you guys. Let's go.
So, what is rusting? Rusting is a chemical process where iron reacts with oxygen and water to form hydrated ion trioxide, which commonly known as rust. Rusting is a redox reaction and it causes iron to become weak and brittle.
Oh, I see. So that's the meaning of rusting. But what are the conditions for rusting to happen?
Aha! I've read about it before. There are three main conditions for rusting to occur. First is the presence of iron. Second is the presence of water or moisture. Third is the presence of oxygen. But if any one of these conditions is absent, rusting will not occur.
Oh. Now let me show you how rusting works.
In test tube A, air is present but water is absent. The iron net is placed in the dry test tube with no water added. In test tube B, water is present but air is absent. The net is submerged in tap water and covered with layer of oil to prevent air from entering. In test tube C, both air and water are present. The iron net is partially immersed in tap water and exposed to air. In test tube D, dry air is present but water is absent and hydrous calcium chloride is added to absorb moisture from the air. While in test tube E, air and salt water are present. The iron net is partially immersed in salt water.
For test tube A, there will be no rust because there was only air and no water because water is needed for rusting to happen.
For test tube B, there was rust that slightly occurred because there was no air but the presence of water. The oil layer was blocking the oxygen from entering the water.
In test tube C, rusting was seen because of the presence of air and water, which are the main component for rusting to happen.
For test tube B, there is no rusting occur because there is no presence of water but only dry air which form anhydrous calcium chloride that absorb the water vapor inside the test tube which prevent the rusting from occur.
For test tube E, the rusting were mostly seen because
in test tube A there is salt water and air which salt water act as electrolyte that fasten the rusting process.
Of course, there are ways to prevent rusting from happening. First is painting. The paint acts as a cover that blocks the air and water from touching the iron. That's why many gates, railings and bridges are painted. The next is galvanization, where the iron is coated with zinc. The zinc protects the iron and rust first, so the iron underneath stays safe. Last but not least is stainless steel, which an alloy of iron is mixed with other elements. This makes it much more resistant to rust and more suitable to kitchen stool and medical equipment.
that's all from us. Thank you.